as they come into the start zone for the first race of the chase. We're underway in Chicagoland.
See, already cars are trying to test that outside line. This is a multiple groove racetrack. Cars are trying to run the middle to the top. They're going to be all over this racetrack.
And with qualifying rained out, Rick, the fact that all of these chase drivers are starting together, I think makes these first few laps even more challenging.
Mention the pressure that these drivers are under. They cannot have a bad race. It was proven a year ago by Jamie McMurray, who had an average finish in the first 3 races of under a 12th place position, and he did not advance to the round of 12. Right now, battle for position between the 11 of Denny Hamlin and the 2 of Brad Keselowski. Hamlin on the inside, Keselowski right in the middle of the track. Welcome back to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400, riding along with Kevin Harvick. And this is what he tweeted out a week ago. My mood for the next 11 weeks? Well, he is living that right now. Elbows up. He has gone from the back all the way up to 11.
He is trying to pass Ryan Newman here for 10th. It's lap 18. I mean, that is, you just said it, Steve, a minute ago. We haven't seen anything like this all year. I mean, this is the most impressive run to start a race, or at any point in the race, that I've seen all year.
Yeah, and what is he doing? Race 1, he's setting the tone. He said it with his tweet, now he's doing it on the racetrack. You are going to have to contend with me all 10 weeks. I don't care if I started in the rear. As he passes the 31, he's already passed 5 other chase drivers.
I have to ask you, though, is he being too aggressive? I mean, these tires can wear out. This is an old surface, a 15-year-old racetrack. It could tear the tires off if he's too hard, couldn't it?
I think it just shows how fast his race car is. He still isn't running lap times that the leaders are running. He's just proving these cars in traffic he's better than them, and the leaders had better take note, Kelly.
And when Kevin was asked to kind of explain that tweet, he said it just meant I was excited. I think it's definitely that you have to find another level when you get to this time of year. You've got to be that raging lunatic a little bit at this time of year, but it has been impressive what he's done. First 5 laps, I should say, he gained 15 positions, 21 positions in the first 10 laps, and he was up 26 spots by lap 15.
Yeah, and Kelly, it's a mentality also in every, no matter what sport it is, a battle for the lead right here. Truex on the outside of Busch.
We talk about another mentality. Here's the 78 of Martin Truex Jr., so good at the mile-and-a-half racetracks. We watched him dominate at the Coca-Cola 600. Here he is, the first mile-and-a-half race of the race. He drives up and passes the leader.
He made that look easy. Martin Truex Jr. on the high side goes by the 18. Kyle Busch, and now Kyle Busch back to second. Green flag pit stops had just started, and some cars on pit road when the caution just came out. Is that an advantage?
Well, it's going to be an advantage for some, a disadvantage for others. It's going to be a scoring nightmare for a moment. It's going to have to cycle around. We're going to have to find the leader, Martin Truex Jr. He's going to have to be picked up by the pace car. The caution was for a loose tire on pit road, and with no exterior pit wall, that tire can get out into the grass, so NASCAR is forced to call a caution. And this is going to turn the tables all upside down.
So Martin Truex, the leader of the race, he had not gotten on pit road yet, so that's going to put a lot of drivers a lap down. But remember with the pass-around rule, when they pit, they're going to come out. They're going to be on pit road. Everybody that did pit will go around him because he's on pit road, and then with 1 to go, they'll get the pass-around. So they won't. A lot of these cars won't ultimately be a lap down, but they're going to lose a lot of track position.
So basically, the 4 and the 11 and the 48 all come down pit road. The caution comes out while they're on pit road. So then the most important thing is where they get scored versus the leader. Luckily, where they are on pit road, they get scored to the start-finish line. So we found the shot that shows both the 4 and the 48 leaving their pit stalls. So as you see the 4 in the pit stall, the leader, the 78, is on the left side of the screen. He's rolling nice and slow because it's under caution. As he approaches the start-finish line, the 4 leaves his pit stall, the 48 leaves, and if you freeze it right there, the 78 is to the start-finish line. The 48 is in front of the 4 by maybe a couple feet. So the 48 beats the 78 to start-finish line, saving his lap. As you see, it creeps forward, The 4, what is that, 2 feet, Jeff?
Yeah, maybe less.
2 feet is what put the 4 of Kevin Harvick a lap down.
So the 4 was going to be okay, but he had to do 2 tires trying to beat the 78 off pit road. So to get other tires, he had to come back in and do 2 tires. Had he not had to do that, he would have taken the pass around like everybody else and be on the lead lap. But he currently is a lap down in 21st because he had to pit it again to put 2 tires on.
8 drivers took the wave around: the 20, the 31, the 41, the 42, the 21, the 14, and the 3. All lined up behind Jimmy Johnson. Alex Bowman as they enter the restart zone. Green flag back in the air.
And we focused on those chasers, but the 88 of Alex Bowman also gained track position in the same manner.
3 wide as they go into turn 1. Denny Hamlin tries that high line.
Casey Kane 3 wide on the very top of the white car.
Casey Kane taking advantage of a very good race car this weekend as the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. moves up to 3rd. Brian Scott spins coming off of turn number 4 right in front of pit road, and that will bring out the caution for the 2nd time. Martin Truex Jr. in the free pass position will get back on the lead lap.
You just mentioned it, Steve, that call that Cole Pern made to have him pit very close from the 48, not try to stay out and try to get that caution, that has put them in the position to get this pass.
Let's take a look at what happened to Brian Scott. Just to the right of your screen.
Is way up against the wall. Car comes around right in the middle of the corner. Spins it out. Luckily, nobody was right behind him. And I tell you something else, this helped. You know, this spin by the 44 car had helped Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart was very close to getting lapped by Jimmy Johnson. Saved Tony Stewart.
Jimmy Johnson has chosen the inside line. Chase Elliott on the outside. Back to racing.
Good restart for the 24 Chase Elliott. We have heard all year long that restarts seem to have struggled for this young man, but that was a great restart as he storms to the outside of his teammate, Jimmy Johnson.
Trying to take the lead away from Jimmy Johnson using that higher line. Through the bumps in 3 and 4, and Jimmy Johnson will exit 4 out in front. One driver going places is the 24 of Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott, after such a dominant performance early by Jimmy Johnson, Elliott was able to get by the 48 easily.
And so was the 18 of Busch. He was also able to get by the 48 to get himself unlapped. So all of a sudden, Jimmy Johnson's having problems. Even in the middle of the corner, how slow he is. Chase Elliott easily passed Jimmy Johnson.
And when he passed him, he has pulled away to a 2.5 lead.
We were wondering if there was something wrong with the 48 on the radio. He mentioned this moments ago.
All right, man. Things acted weird when I let off the gas. It like goes straight.
And so that was what Jimmy Johnson had as far as the explanation why the car was falling off the pace. So Chase Elliott already with almost a 2-second lead over Jimmy Johnson running in the 2nd spot. Brad Keselowski, after the green flag pit stops, is 3rd. He is almost 4 seconds behind Jimmy Johnson. That is Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano, the top 5. Green flag back in the air. A great restart by the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Chase Elliott utilized the momentum on the high side and clear him. Coming out of turn 2, he does.
It's got to be good for Chase's his confidence. He knows he can do it. He knows if he gets that opportunity to win the race, he just does. He just did it. He's just going to have to do it again.
Good job, buddy.
And with 69 laps to go, now 68. That's still outside of the fuel window. They'll have to come to pit road at least one more time in this race. Most important for Chase Elliott is the possibility of having the pass into the round of 12. A win and you advance. Chase Elliott still looking for his first Sprint Cup Series win, and now just 5 laps away from that. The gap a little bit further that time, 1.1 seconds between Chase Elliott and Martin Truex Jr.
We talked about Martin Truex Jr. He's led the most laps on these 1.5 miles. So Chase Elliott knows that he has a very, very stiff competitor behind him. He's going to have to be one of the very best to get his first win. But that's how it happens. You typically get your first win. They're never easy. You have to beat the very best. We have a caution. We have a caution.
Caution comes out, and it's for the 95. Michael McDowell's right front blows, and the right front fender completely comes off.
And that first victory just became even more difficult to get. So now we're going to have decisions to make by the teams. Do I pit? Do I not pit? Chase Elliott's going to have that right restart.
Truex is going to come to pit road following leader Chase Elliott. Now it's up to the crew. Can they maintain position, get all the lug nuts tight, or perhaps pick up a spot for Martin Truex Jr.? He'll take 4. Mike
Wheeler, crew chief for Denny Hamlin, asking his driver, how good are your tires? He said they were just okay. That made the decision easy. Down pit road for fresh rubber on the 11 car. They're on pit road, as are the other leaders. Marty?
Pit stops that could decide chase race number 1, and a little bit of a fumble on the 24 stop. The carrier on the rear missed that tire as it was handed to him. They're going to make no changes here for Joey Logano. Still a little bit too free, but still a good stop for the 24. Now let's see who wins that race off pit road. It'll be the 78 of Martin Truex Jr., Rick.
Truex Jr. wins the race off of pit road. Chase Elliott loses a spot. A couple drivers stayed out on the racetrack, though.
Well, Ryan Blaney, we had mentioned that he ran longer than most people, so his green flag pit stop was a little bit later. It was about 15 laps later. So what's Ryan Blaney say? You know what? Rookie year, let's try to win a race. So he stays on the racetrack. Ryan Blaney will line up as the leader of the race.
Difficulty right now for Dave, for Blaney, for Kane, for Edwards. They have older tires, which means when they're trying to accelerate, when they get into that restart zone, their rear tires are not going to hook up. They're going to have to try to find a way to keep from spinning those rear tires and gain momentum. If not, the pack's going to be coming from behind. They're going to have the restart of their lives to make this thing work.
2 by 2. Ryan Blaney on the inside. Casey Kane on the outside. Coming into the restart zone. Green flag back in the air. We're in overtime.
Blaney with a great restart. Truex making it 3 wide.
Fresh tires on the outside for the 78 of Martin Truex Jr. 4 wide behind him, Martin Truex Jr. sailing through turn 2 and down the backstretch he goes, trying to take the lead away as they go into 3. They made it past the overtime line. Martin Truex Jr. so strong early in the race, led 30 laps and has had to work his way back up front, but now he's done it out in front. White flag in the air one more time around.
Clear about 10 over to 21. Nice smooth down the back.
Chasers that are able to win a race will advance to the next round. That next round, the round of 12. Martin Truex Jr. has fought through adversity once again. His career has been fighting through adversity, and he'll win at Chicagoland.
Unreal, man, unreal. Remember to swerve on the track. Remember to swerve on the track. Baby! Woo! Big thrill, baby! Yeah!
Here he comes, Rick. He's gotten unbuckled. Oh, he's got to get the glasses on first. That's very important. He's got the cue to come do what he wants to do this afternoon, and that is celebrate. And you look right back at that bunch. Yep, there it is. Talk about a team effort from start to finish, and that last pit stop, obviously the clincher.
Oh my goodness, Darlington all over again, right? So I guess racing guys don't want us leading too much. They got to make it difficult on us. But what can I say about everybody? Furnace Row Racing, Toyota TRD, Bass Pro Shops, Denver Mattress, Furniture Row. I mean, just everybody that makes this possible. Texture on our friends there, Sprint, the fans. Fans have given us a ton of support. not only over the years but the last two, and it's definitely helped us.